A 21-year-old Fargo man's been convicted of threatening staff at a Fargo business.
According to court documents, Daniel Ferris threatened a business in the 2100 block of University Drive South 2 times in July of last year.
During the first incident, witnesses say Ferris made threats and then went to his vehicle, got a backpack, and gestured towards the staff while banging on the business's window. Days later, he came back and made more threats, prompting the manager to call 911.
Ferris was originally charged with 3 counts of terrorizing, but pled guilty to 2 counts during a change of plea hearing yesterday. He was sentenced to 2 years behind bars and 2 years of supervised probation.